How's it going, guys? Bibi here. So today I thought I'd talk about the condition I've been living with for the past 10 to 15 years. I thought it would be beneficial to talk about this condition because it's still rather unknown as to what it is, and it's only really come to light in the past 10 to 15 years since I was diagnosed. So what I live with is called fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is a long-term illness that is incurable and is usually hard to diagnose. I was diagnosed back when I was around 2021, but I had been getting symptoms since I was about 17, 18. And what fibromyalgia is, it causes fatigue in the body, causes my body to feel a lot of pain, and causes me to have restless nights sleep, makes it hard to walk, makes it hard to function on some days. It is a very stressful and very annoying condition to have. My doctors have told me that it's very difficult to diagnose fibromyalgia because there are no simple tests to say, yes, you have got fibromyalgia. There's no blood test, there's no urine sample that you can go and get that will say this is what you've got. It's all about trial and error to see if you have the symptoms of other things until it turns out that you don't have all these things and it turns out that you've got fibromyalgia. So what fibromyalgia does to me in particular is at night I wake up all the time. I wake up in pain. Some days I can't even get out of bed without help because my legs and my body would be in so much pain. I can't walk any longer than about 10 minutes before my muscles start to seize up, and that makes it that I'm either limping or I have to stop and have a sit down. I'm 30 and I should be able to walk longer than 10 to 15 minutes. Doing normal everyday tasks like tidying my house is also a struggle, and this is something that I have to kind of live with and manage every single day. Because there's no absolute cure, all I can do is take medication to try and ease the pain and change the brain chemistry in my brain to make it that my body isn't thinking it's always in pain. So a person with fibromyalgia's brain chemistry is different from a person that doesn't have fibromyalgia. Someone with fibromyalgia, their brain chemistry and their pain receptors in particular aren't wired properly. Medication is supposed to help with this, but it's not a fix-all. It's not an end-all, cure. So what my brain does is it makes me think that I'm in a lot of pain and that I feel pain even when I have done nothing to cause it to be in pain. And when you say it out loud like that, it makes you sound like you were crazy. Back before I got diagnosed, the amount of times that I got told that I'm just making it up or that I'm just being over dramatic or that I might be becoming a hypochondriac, that was hard to deal with, because when you have something like this and it's all in your brain and there's no outward symptoms for anyone to really know that something's going on, to the outside world, people just think that you're making stuff up. And as a teenager, that is difficult. So when I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, I was about 20 years old and I was living in Dunedin. I had been suffering from this for several years, and I decided one day to go to the doctors again. What every other doctor would say is that I'm just pushing myself too hard, that I've got arthritis, which I do. I have arthritis on top of this. And they would just prescribe me some painkillers. So one day I was just sick of it. I wanted some sort of diagnosis. I wanted to know what was going on with my body. I wanted to know why I was always in pain and why my legs would swell at night and I couldn't sit still and couldn't get comfy, while I was always waking up and I was always feeling tired. So I went to this doctor. I sat down, told her about what's been going on, and she stood up and said, just wait there a second. She walked over to her bookshelf and pulled out this massive book, and it was a medical textbook. She flicked through the pages and stopped at this page and said, I think that you have this. And sure enough, it was like a light bulb had switched, you know. It explained about the brain receptors. It explained about the symptoms, and there are like some ways that they can diagnose, where they call them pressure points, where they ask where your pain is, and if you have X amount of pain in these pressure points, then that's kind of how they diagnose people with fibromyalgia. They prescribed me what's called nortriptyline. Nortriptyline is a pill that changes the brain chemistry to try and make your pain receptors act the way that they're supposed to, and it's supposed to like dull down some of the pain. Now, while it does work, I am still in a lot of pain even though I take 6 of these pills a day. It is said that there is no actual way to tell how fibromyalgia came on for people. Everyone's different. There has been things said like infection, stress, trauma, all that type of thing could be a contributor, but there's no surefire way of saying this is why you have fibromyalgia. It's just something that came on. I do remember that the pains that I started getting in my legs was after I had an infection in a bite that I got on my leg. So I think for myself, the reason why I got fibromyalgia is because I was unlucky and got a spider bite or a bug bite, and it got infected and it changed something in my body, and now I'm stuck with this. So over the years I've done research, spoken to lots of different doctors to find out more about this condition. The other things that I've found out that can go alongside having fibromyalgia are migraines and tension headaches, which I suffer with all the time. If you guys aren't new to the channel, you guys will know that I get migraines all the time. I'm also on medication for migraines, which kind of work, but I still get them. Forgetfulness and lack of concentration is also something that kind of goes alongside the fatigue, which I get all the time. So there are a long list of things that having fibromyalgia really does affect. This affects my everyday life, and this video, I hope, has brought to light what this condition is. I hope that if any of you have been getting any of these symptoms, this isn't by any means a diagnosis to say this is what you have got. I am not a doctor, I am not a medical specialist, so please, if you think that you might have fibromyalgia, go to your doctor, go and speak to them, and get them to try and help you through whatever it is that you're going through. I will say the hardest part of having this condition is, as I mentioned before, the fact that you don't have any outwards appearance of there is something wrong with you. So it's sometimes hard to explain why we've only been walking for like 10 minutes and then I need to have a sit down. It's not because I'm lazy, it's because I'm in a lot of pain. Also, motivation. When you're in a lot of pain every day, it's hard to get motivated to get up, put on makeup, do your hair, and get in front of a camera. I love doing YouTube, but some days it's hard. I don't know why I'm getting all emotional. Do not cry, because I do not want to have to redo my makeup. This is also something that's alongside the condition. It's very easy to get emotional when you start thinking about how hard things are. Where was I? Sorry about that. Yeah. So it's hard not to get upset some days when thinking about having this condition, because it's made life significantly more difficult. I try not to let it be a burden on the ones that I love, and all I can really do is take life day by day and do the best that I can in my everyday life. Like, one day I want to be able to, get married and have kids. And when thinking about having kids, it's hard to think like how life would be, because I don't want to be like this cripple mum that can't go down to the park with their kids, that can't keep up with having a toddler or be able to pick up their newborn without being in pain. Going back to motivation for a second, keeping motivated to do what I love when you're in pain, it's frustrating, because in my brain, in my mind, I'm thinking I want to get up and make videos, and you would think just sitting down in front of a camera and just talking like this wouldn't be difficult. It wouldn't be taxing and draining and painful. But some days it is. That is another reason why streaming has been difficult. I love streaming, but there are some days where I just don't have the energy to be entertaining, to be the upbeat, happy, bubbly Bibi that you guys know. And I feel like if I can't put on a good show, then I'm failing. So there are some days where I've got to take a step back, and there have been a lot of days this year where I've had to take a step back and be like, I'm sorry, I can't stream because I am in too much pain. I have a migraine, or I'm not in the mood to stream because I'm in a bad mood because I'm in pain. And another thing that goes alongside having fibromyalgia is sometimes feeling depressed. I've always been the one that I let my friends and family rely on to talk to when they're down. Feeling depressed and feeling anxious is something that, it's silly to say, but I don't feel comfortable with. Of course, I don't feel comfortable with feeling down. But at the same time, it frustrates me because I don't want to feel depressed and anxious. And I don't want to have to, I don't want to talk to my family and my friends about feeling depressed, because I want to be the strong one, to be there for people. And I know I am lucky enough to have a really good support system and wonderful friends and wonderful family. And I know that they will always be there to talk to me whenever I'm feeling down. But it's something that I, in myself, with this condition, like, I don't want to do. It's silly, I know, but take it as pride, take it however you want, but I want to always be the happy and supportive Bibi that people have come to know and I assume love. I don't usually open up about those types of things, and it's not healthy, I know that. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is it's hard to have this condition. It's a bigger deal than what people initially think. And I wanted to bring awareness to what this condition is, what I go through on a day-to-day basis, to open up to you guys a little bit, to hopefully get you to understand what I'm going through and why there are times where I'm not very consistent with what I do on YouTube. Even though I love it to bits, there are reasons to why I don't post as much as what I would love to, and why I don't always stream all the time. But yeah, I think this video has gone on far too long. I've restarted this video about 5 times because I wanted to get it right. I wanted to get the information that I wanted to say out, and I ended up an emotional blubbering mess by the end of it. But yeah, if any of you are struggling with anything like this or anything else in your life, please leave your stories down in the comments, and we'll have a chat, and hopefully I'll get to learn more about you guys as well. And definitely, if you think that you have the symptoms that I have, go see your doctor, because I was significantly worse off before getting my diagnosis and getting my medication, and now trying to lose weight and going to a hydrotherapy pool for physio in order to get my mobility better. So yeah, I'm a lot more better off now than what I was before I got my diagnosis. So hopefully, if you're struggling, you can find out what's wrong with you and take the steps to get better and not be in as much pain. Okay, well, thank you everyone for watching. I guess I'll see you guys again soon. Subscribe if you enjoyed this heartfelt talk. Tell me if you would like me to do more videos about me, and like, I have a lot more things that I can talk about. So yeah, anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye.